When you look into the war in the Pacific, specifically the aviation side of things, the statistics of the Pacific Theater have a very prominent role in what we know about aerial tactics and the design of such aircraft, be it fighters or dive bombers as well. You may think of the legendary American F-4U Corsair, the Dauntless dive bomber, the F-6 F-5 Hellcat, the beautiful P-38 Lightning, or the Japanese A-6M0, perhaps the Ki-84, and so on. All of these aircraft were known for their highly valuable role in maintaining air superiority, with all of these aircraft naturally adapting and competing for tactics against their adversary counterparts. The surface level of Pacific Theater aviation knowledge all has something in common. The Japanese planes all had radial engines. Our story begins in Germany with the Messerschmitt Bf-109 E-Mill. This aircraft was the pinnacle of the German Luftwaffe forces, and its power plant was a Daimler-Benz DB601 liquid-cooled inverted V12. This V12 species of engine was an international essential for air forces all around. Unlike Japan, which mostly stuck with the air-cooled radial engines in their main fighters, as well as bombers, German aircraft production was hindered after the Treaty of Versailles, so Germany had to relocate their engineers and manufacturing to other countries. A man named Richard Vought was sent to Japan in the 1920s and designed the Type 87 bomber. Vought trained a Japanese engineer named Takeo Doi, hence the creation of the Ki-10, fit with a liquid-cooled V12. After Vought went back to Germany, Doi designed the Kawasaki Ki-61. By now, the only other aircraft in Japan to have a V12 engine were the Aichi M63, Yokosuka D4Y, and the Kawasaki Ki-32. Fighting the Americans in 1942 meant mostly P-40E and P-39D models. But one specific American aircraft powered by two Allison V12 engines were alarming enough to the Japanese, as it was nearly twice as fast as their frontline fighters, and aircraft such as the Ki-43 and A-6M0s just couldn't compete with the twin-tailed Devil. That plane was the P-38. This was concerning enough for Japan to necessitate something with the speed up to par to that of the P-38, with a small sacrifice to turn radius, but nonetheless more outmaneuverable to the P-38. This aircraft still ended up having the just above identical upper hand to the P-40E and P-39D models. As the Ki-61 saw service in 1943, this aircraft would visually arise some confusion in the American pilots, as at first they thought they were looking at a Bf-109, perhaps an Italian Macha C-202. Upon discovery that it was Japanese home-built, they gave it the nickname Tony for its Italian appearance, hence the Allied code name Ki-61 Tony. But it was actually called the Ki-61 Hein, which meant the Flying Swallow. The prototype of this aircraft was the Kawasaki Ki-60. It didn't really have much of a difference other than the fact that it was just a prototype. The Ki-60, along with its rendition, the Ki-61, also ran the Kawasaki HA-40, which was a license-built production variant of the DB601. A total of 3,078 were produced, most of them being the Ki-61-1 model, but there was also the -2 Kai model. After the Allied destruction of a factory producing these HA-40 engines in Japan, they were no longer able to produce the Ki-61 with the lack of a suitable engine. In turn, they started to fit their air-cooled HA-112 radial engine on incomplete Ki-61 fuselages, ultimately leading to a new model, the Ki-100. Now, while it had slower top speed, this variant reportedly had better performance, as the native radial engine was more accustomed to hot and humid environments, unlike the German-designed HA-40. This also meant a simpler and more familiar throttle quadrant for the pilots. A handful of the Ki-61s would not have the constant speed prop, which meant the pilots would have to adjust the prop pitch manually no matter what they're doing, which could distract even a good pilot in a dogfight. While yes, this aircraft was not effective enough to say change the tides of the war altogether, I like it because, well, for one, it's absolutely gorgeous, and two, it shows the beauty of shared experience from engineers with separate ideologies in terms of performance of an aircraft, and the unlikely success it can make. Thank you so much for watching this video. What plane would you like me to do next?